Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, July 29th, 2014, and the U.S. stock market is closed. A couple days ago, I quoted myself from a twit. It was about 3 years ago, and I said, the problem with smart people is they think they can figure out the stock market. Well, I think I got to include myself in that group because I really thought I had things figured out yesterday, and I didn't have things figured out at all. You know, the Dow Jones Industrial Average put in what I call the bear spike, or bull spike, yesterday, and rallied from that. And today looked like I was spot on in terms of my prediction. The market just continued to rally. It looked really good until about 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time today. In other words, 1 hour in the market, I looked like I really was a market genius in terms of predicting things, and then the overall market really failed. And Dow Jones Industrial Average ended up closing down 70 points today. It looks grim, and whatever I said yesterday, it's out the window, folks. Doesn't look good for this market at this point in time. And as a result of this, we had another crummy day. In some ways, I'm really not complaining too much about this because I think it could have been a lot worse. You know, we had like $2,500 negative open trade yesterday, and we ended up closing that out with negative $3,600, a little bit worse, but let me tell you, it could have been a lot worse than that. And basically our positions held up in the sense that the crummy positions we had didn't get too much more crummy. So maybe that's something to feel good about. We're also carrying negative $1,200 going into tomorrow. But we did have some winning trades, and I'll show you the charts on those in a second. But basically, not a good day, but not a horrible day. It's just another one of those days. We're waiting for this market to cut loose and really rally and get some big profits. And the market isn't doing that. It's just kind of sloshing around and moving lower. Anyway, let me show you the charts and I can explain that a little better. Okay, we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and what I was talking about yesterday, I looked at this hard low that had been made about an hour after the open, and then buyers came in and rallied this thing up pretty nicely with just a very mild pullback at the close, and I said, this looks to me like a bull spike and this market is going higher. Well, this morning I thought, hey, I have a crystal ball. This market just absolutely took off. Looked like it was screaming, and it definitely looked like the Dow Jones Industrial Average was going to go a lot higher, and of course I'm thinking, hey, maybe it'll get up here to these all-time highs, but it failed here, and it failed really miserably. It came down very hard, tried to rally out of that failure, and then it failed again, coming down here, taking out these lows and closing down 70 points today. I look at that overall pattern, and I'm going to tell you, I was wrong yesterday. I'll make another prediction. We'll see if I'm wrong again, but this market does look like it is going lower at this point in time. Anytime a market fails, that's a pretty good predictor of what's going to follow. But again, the trouble with smart people is they figure they can figure out the stock market. So, maybe I'm saying it's going lower, and tomorrow it'll really scream. We'll have to see. Anyway, I don't think that this is going to be the worst thing for us. As I say, in spite of the fact we've had these crappy markets, we're not losing huge amounts of money like we did back in March. and when this is all over, this thing will turn around and we can make a lot of money on the upswing. But I don't want to predict any immediate upswing at this time, given what happened today. Anyway, I'll show you just a few things. This is kind of shows you some of the frustration we had today. This was in level 3 LVLT, and we got a buy signal here right, 30 minutes into the day. Look at this huge spike. We don't buy that big spike. We don't do that at the beginning of the day. It's suicide. And what we did here was smart. We came in and let that thing settle down, and then we bought it. And it went back up, and very nicely, and we were up almost $2,000 up here. In fact, I think we were up $2,000 up here. But then this thing fails with the rest of the market, and it just kind of trends back. We're only down maybe $400 on that, but still, to go from positive 2,000 to negative 400 is not fun. We had some other trades that followed that pattern, except they did close positively. This was in GWPH, says GW Pharmaceuticals. We got into this thing right away after the open, and it went against us, and then it got up here. And again, this thing is up to $2,000 up here, but then it fades kind of with the rest of the market. So we're holding about $800, $900 in GWPH. And then we got a similar pattern to this in 3D Systems, DDD, and this was a kind of a disappointment too. We got into this just like we did GWPH, got in right at the beginning of the day. It goes a little bit against us, and then it rallies, and again when we're up here, we're up to $2,000 with 3D Systems, but it fails at the end, or not fail, but it definitely pulls back, and so we're holding maybe just about $600 positive in 3D Systems. So it's kind of a it's not a great day. That I'll have to say, although it's not a terrible day. We are holding negative $1,200 going in tomorrow. We'll just have to see. Anyway, that's the way it went. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday.